coffee.
Well, again, we hope it gets a little bit more competitive because like a girls trip to Cancun right now, there's no game. It's a 22-point game for Team Collier. That's a walk-off. Sabrina Ionescu, there she is from the 4-point circle. Second half action from Cambridge Field has tips after this.
Al, you're in timeout.
Okay,
you're done.
Can we work on the prompter there? We got a black and white screen. Sorry about that. America, there you go.
Great, thank you.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time.
Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? The only show that would rather be found on the Epstein list than caught slow dancing in public. As always, I'm Christian Bladt. Eric Zane is on assignment. So sitting in today is an actual celebrity guest. I believe this is his 4th time on the show. And before we even bring him on, here's a clip from his latest stand-up special, No Sleep Till McSorley's, which is available on his YouTube channel at Don Jamieson for free. That's a price that I think our audience can definitely get behind.
I love drinking, man. I did a crazy thing the other day. I did one of these pub crawls. Anybody do one of those? Everyone do a pub crawl? You know where you hop from bar to bar to bar, and then you wake up in an alley with your pants missing? One of those things? Yeah. It was great because the one I did, all the proceeds went to help benefit the City Harvest Food Bank. What a beautiful concept, right? Use your vices to help the needy. Right? You just got to give it a fancy name like Hangovers for the Homeless or something like that, you know? I went to 18 bars, had 18 different drinks, puked behind the last bar, had another drunk pee on me, fed an entire tent city that night. Yeah. Honey, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a philanthropist. I'm the Warren Buffett of drunks. I'm the Bill Gates of beer guzzling, all right? I'm the Mother Teresa of tequila shots, goddammit. Not all heroes wear capes, all right? Some of us wear a vomit-stained t-shirt that says beer o'clock across it. Plus, when you do it for charity, you can write it off on your taxes. Right? On my W-9 where it says charitable contribution, I just write in my liver. You could do with anything, right? How about the Hunter Biden crack house crawl? Smoke the rock, feed the block. Something like that, you know?
And here he is back on the show, the great Don Jamieson. And indeed, the entire special is there on his YouTube channel at Don Jamieson. No Sleep Till McSorley's. Don, I enjoyed it as an audio album, but it's even better to be able to see. Explain the idea for our audience doing that special at possibly, not even arguably, the greatest drinking establishment in the United States.
Yes, beer drinkers and hellraisers abound, and I do all my drinking for charity, you know, and tonight, right after this broadcast, I'm going out and I'm getting hammered for the Shriners, which is, you know, when I get really drunk, I'm very adorable. So,
well, yeah, it's fantastic, and I love that everybody can watch it. I know that that's the move right now. Don't charge us for it. Do you have a tip jar in case we feel like, you know what, I enjoyed that, about $4.50 worth. I'm glad he didn't charge $8 for it, but let me send Don some money.
You know, I'll just give out my address at the end of the show, and people could I'm old school. Just send me a check.
And by the way, Cosmic Nod is such a fan. He saw you in Harvard at Grace.
Yes.
And I know that is, of course, wonderful in Maryland. And
comedy capital of the universe.
That's right. I appreciate you being here again, Don. And in a little bit, we'll have a mutual friend on with us as well. But there's a few orders of business we have to get to. Please go to whoarethese.com, and that's where you can find the voicemail number. Just say it's for WATB. And while you're there, join the Patreon or become a member on YouTube, where you can get 2 bonus episodes every month. Watch, record live every Saturday. And don't forget to check out the WATP gang at Chrissy Mayer's Content House and the Magic Bag in Ferndale, Michigan. Don, have you ever thought of doing a content house where you podcast all weekend from like a house at the Jersey Shore or something?
You know, it feels like that should be a dream of mine, but for some reason it is not. But maybe it's just because I was shunned from the Chrissy Mayer Content House, and I'm probably just bitter.
Right. I think that the issue was she said she wanted content, and you were like, all right, I guess I'm out.
Wah, wah.
So in any event, so much that we can talk about today, and there's big stories abounding. We were not here last week. I was in Lake Tahoe, but during the past week, it was a mini awards season. So we need this.
Who are these
Yes, indeed. Shane Gillis hosted the ESPYs on ESPN. You know Shane at all, Don? I figure that he was probably running around in New York at some point where you might have crossed paths.
Yeah, still running around New York, and man, it's been a little while now since I ran into him. He came to Dice's birthday party at the Stand. That was the last time I saw him, so that was probably over a year ago. But listen, I'm all in on Shane Gillis, just because the FU back to NBC and SNL now is so colossal. Like, he's so much huger now than he would have ever been on that show. And I love it. You know, I got to root for the guy.
Yeah, if he'd gotten on that show, he might have been Jenny Slate. Like, he could have had Jenny Slate's career. And so obviously,
well, I'll take Jenny Slate's career.
Okay, so will I. That's a great point.
But yes, I agree. It's just yeah, he you know, there's a curse and a blessing to doing that, and you know, he could have easily went the way of so many people who they don't even put it on the resume, because I was one season no one remembers.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And for all the people that have been on the camera, you know, people like I think we can occasionally talk about Louis C.K. once in a while. He was a writer there for a few years. So a lot of people pass through those offices. And I think that Shane is better for it. And here he is hosting the ESPYs. I'm not going to go through the greatest hits because there were many. There's one or two that I want to get to. But what I was most impressed by was the awareness that this wasn't necessarily Shane's room. And he told the jokes he wanted to tell anyway. So he starts off talking about Deion Sanders' son, Shador Sanders.
Shador Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism, right? All right.
I love any time you get a crowd shot and the person sitting in the front. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to pretend I do, but he's got sunglasses on and he's looking down. I don't know if I don't think that's Shador Sanders. I doubt he could get a ticket. So
his dad might have got him one.
Yeah. Well, his dad didn't want to sit by him. So yeah, that's true. This is probably up in the rafters. He also, early on in his monologue, went after one of the most beloved name in, the most beloved name in women's sports.
When Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
You know, can't go wrong there because I think everybody can relate to that one. And yeah. His next joke that we're going to show really went across the political spectrum. There's a quick punchline, and then Shane does what a great comedian does, and he kind of camps out on the joke for a little while because of the way it goes over.
Wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died.
Great joke.
All right. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it.
I love that. We'll get to what he says next. You know, a couple years ago, Joe Coy did the Golden Globes, and people were pissed when he's like, if the joke didn't go over, he's like, hey, leave me alone. I didn't write it.
Yeah.
It goes with the territory. When you write a show, a roast, anything, right, Don? Sometimes it's like, all right, so I'm going to get called out for that one, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could do that once a set, but
yeah.
True. Yeah, you can't go to that well 15 times during the monologue. It's just not a thing you're supposed to do. But that was a weird one to throw into the mix.
Yeah, because obviously you're going to have a group of people that are willing to laugh at that joke, and another group that is just like, "Hey, man, that's not cool." But don't worry. Shane is able to do surgery live on the air.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
So obviously that gets all kinds of attention, including from right-wing commentator Benny Johnson, who points out comedian Shane Gillis calls January 6th staged and makes a Jeffrey Epstein murder joke that has crowds roaring at the ESPYs. We control culture now. Don, you don't have to know about Benny Johnson. You don't have to know anything about Benny Johnson to know that there might be a chance he didn't get that joke.
Yeah, I don't think so. Benny, he hasn't read the comedian handbook. Maybe he needs to dust that off. But yeah. Well, this is when you are on the main stage like this. I'm on stages at McSorley's. Nobody like Benny Johnson can criticize what I'm saying. But when you're in the public eye and you're Shane Gillis, where you don't give a damn what anybody thinks of what you're saying, it's all good. It's press.
By the way, I think Benny Johnson would have loved the joke we played at the beginning. The Hunter Biden charity, was it Rock for the Block? So I think that would get a retweet from him. Maybe I'll
smoke the rock, feed the block.
Yes, my apologies for going shorthand on the punchline. All right, this is our last clip from the ESPYs, and this one might have the best read on the pulse of our culture as it is right now.
Pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime.
Very nice.
That's a great
They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar. The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First. And of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That was my favorite one.
Of course.
Also, I'm not trashing Bill Belichick. First off, he's 73 years old and he's dating a hot 24-year-old and people are criticizing him? What happened to this country? We used to be a great country. He won 6 Super Bowls. Yeah, he's dating a hot 24-year-old. Maybe if you guys won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to a fat, ugly dog wife.
Very dangerous thing to say right there, considering the crowd. But he's laughing because I think he knew that it would get that reaction. And the best part is who he can throw under the bus here.
They let me do it. I don't. This is Disney. They allowed that.
Yeah. Disney said it was okay, Don.
I was at. We should have taken that out.
But I don't know. I mean, I think that when you do one of those things, it makes people uncomfortable. Obviously, Norm Macdonald did a brilliant job hosting the ESPYs, and people still talk about Ricky Gervais doing the Golden Globes, and I think a lot of times these award shows are very preachy. They're not really looking to have jokes. So kudos to ESPN for saying like, hey, let's put Shane Gillis out there. I think he speaks to a lot of our audience,
Well, I mean, Disney could take advantage, instead of getting offended, if Disney took advantage of Fat Ugly Dog Wife, that could be a whole franchise of movies right there, Fat Ugly Dog Wife 1 through 10, and you just create this great cartoon character, the Fat Ugly Dog Wife.
Do you want to give any guesses for who would be a good voice for Fat Ugly Dog Wife, or do you want to not be banned from every stage in the Northeast?
Well, I mean, I've never been banned from a comedy club.
Okay.
I've closed a lot of them, but I've never been banned.
Well, I will remind everyone that with Eric Zane not here, I do have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So I'm not really keeping my eyes on the poor chat. So if you want to get in on the show, you need to super chat early and often. And the highest dollar amount, as always, the highest super chat will be my sign off at the end of the show. So be creative, be offensive, try to get me canceled, divorced, both, who knows, arrested. So please super chat. We've got a couple that trickled in that I'll get to in a moment. But here's a homework assignment. If you would like to cast Fat Ugly Dog Wife, you can send it in the super chat and I just have to read it. It's not, Don has nothing to do with it. I just have to read it.
Well, my first two thoughts are, are both Ozempic'd out now, Rosie O'Donnell and Lizzo.
Oh, sure.
So we need, more popular Fat Ugly Dog Wives to be able to reference now as a culture. You know what I mean? I feel like, we lost something with, Rosie going to Ireland and getting on Ozempic and Lizzo getting on Ozempic. And who's left now?
Well, I don't know, but I do think that if there's a place to go to lose weight, it might not be Ireland, but maybe for Rosie, just being farther away from Krispy Kreme. This is how
over there. It's O apostrophe Zempic.
Oh, I see. Crispy O cream.
Yeah.
So this is how beloved we are by our audience. The great I Come Buckets with $2. Weekly reminder that this show is unwatchable. You don't need to remind me. I know. Okay. But I appreciate it. Also, congrats, John's gimpy Halloween hand with the great avatar from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Back before they had to change the name of that game to just Punch Out. There was a moment where maybe they weren't marketing the champ to kids.
Yeah, there was a couple of years where he might have been somewhat incarcerated, as they say.
But he's back, and that's all that really matters. John's Gimpy Halloween Hand is a member, and if you become a member, as I said, you'll get 2 bonus episodes every single month. And you will also be able to watch the show record live. So we appreciate that. And right now, the high dollar amount on the show is indeed I Come Buckets, with a weekly reminder that this show is unwatchable. So we appreciate that. We've got our buddy Craig Gass coming up momentarily, which will be exciting. He did text me that he's about to log in, so much appreciated. And we were just covering comedy. So obviously there's no better place to move the conversation to go to the opposite end of the spectrum and talk about late night talk shows.
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
Don, I'm just going to assume, as somebody who makes his living in comedy, you probably, like me, grew up a huge fan of late night TV, SNL, Letterman, Conan. These are all incredibly influential shows for me, and it made it easier to stay up late into the wee hours. Because Headbangers Ball was only on once a week. So
and we couldn't afford cocaine, so we needed something to keep us up.
I was like 12 when I'm thinking about it. So obviously I could afford cocaine when I was 12. And what a perfect time to bring our friend in, the great Craig Gass, talking about 12-year-olds buying narcotics on the street corner. Hello, cocaine. Craig. How are you?
I love cocaine. Let's do it.
Yes, that's we'll do the ceremonial line a little later in the show, that like the great Scotty Farrell used to do on his Sirius show. Craig, thanks so much for being here. We very much appreciate you being here. We have a very special segment prepared for the three of us, but we were about to talk about late night television and the fact that there'll be a lot less of it in about 10 months. And Stephen Colbert started off a recent show. I think this was last Thursday. He started off the show with a very special announcement, which is a lot different than the announcement that David Letterman made a few years ago. He let us know that he was being blackmailed. This is different. So this is how Stephen started off.
Oh, hey, everybody.
By the way, I already hate that. I'm sorry. I know you guys are professionals, but I hate that. Like, oh my God, you snuck up on me. But neither of you guys have to get in the way of any of this commentary. But so he wants to let everybody know.
Got a great show for you tonight. Senator Adam Schiff was my guest. We harmonized on 7 Bridges Road. What a voice. I cried. But before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. And I do want to say that the folks at CBS have been great partners. I'm so grateful to the Tiffany Network for giving me this chair.
Until right now. They've been great partners, except for the part where, they're firing me. Craig, right when you popped on, Don and I were just talking about, how influential late night television used to be, especially for both of us growing up, Letterman and then Conan for me. What do you think about, one of the only 3 network 11:30 shows left? It's not like, oh, we're replacing Stephen Colbert. They're just like, okay, yeah, we're going to make him disappear.
It's odd. It's really strange to get rid of the entire brand. I do want to just mention this briefly, that the greatest comedy special of 2025 has dropped, and it's called, Don, what is it called?
No Sleep Till McSorley's.
No Sleep Till McSorley's is out and available now, and I just wanted to mention it.
And it's free on his YouTube channel. Yeah,
it is the best comedy special of 2025. So I have to plug my comedy special before I get into anything else. But
thank you, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it because your specials aren't out yet? I believe you said, I heard you say that you have 2 specials coming out, one all about Kiss and another one.
Well, Don wrote all the material.
Oh, great.
So I just, we collaborate together, and then there's always a point where I go, you can do this, right? And Don goes, I'll just do it. And then Don goes out, he just does it because he's better at everything. But Don does have a joke, and he's so tired of hearing this. But Don has a joke that I'm like, sometimes you hear a joke and you go, oh man, why didn't I think of that? That's right. Oh, come on, man. That's my life. That's my music. Why didn't I think of it? That's because Don listens to the same music. He has the same life, and he's had sex with the same women. So, but the Late Show thing is so bizarre. What a strange thing to get rid of the entire franchise. You're not even going to have a follow-up. And from everything that I could see when it comes to network late night shows, he was far and away the largest audience.
It's almost like we rehearsed this, Craig, because this is for the second quarter of 2025, and you see, just focus on the 3 11:35 shows, and he's got a 9.22. Doesn't matter what it represents. It's twice what Fallon has, and 3 million more than Jimmy Kimmel. And that's one of the things that everybody's saying is like, well, how can you cancel the number 1 show? But I have heard reports that it loses somewhere between $16 and $40 million every year. And so you have a new corporate partner that's like, wait, why are we losing all this money? And so then that begs the question to me, how much longer do you think these other shows are actually going to be on? You think Disney wants to lose $40 million next year?
It's an odd thing. Like, where are they losing that money? I don't know. It's weird, the numbers that get thrown around.
Sure.
Then why did this stay on for as long as it did? I know that there is real money on online platforms. I know that Kimmel crushes on YouTube.
Yeah.
And from the metrics that I understand about how you get paid for YouTube, and you look at the numbers that Kimmel has, he seems to be doing really well over there. I can't remember what his last count was that I saw, but it's like, is it like, I know it's tens of millions of followers that he has on YouTube, if it's not over.
Well, and I think that's the thing, is that's how people see these shows. People don't sit down and watch Jimmy Kimmel, but they're like, oh, those parents are going to steal their kids' Halloween candy again this year. Or when he used to have celebrities read mean tweets. Don and I were developing a show where we would break format and we would read the only nice tweets we ever got. But we're still waiting for them, Craig.
It's the shortest show ever.
I hate to say this, but anytime somebody sends me a complimentary tweet, like say if it's a guy named Jim Jones, and he goes, man, Craig Gass crushed it on whatever, I'll always retweet it and go, Jim Jones gets it.
Well, this is someone who paid money. I was showing this earlier. I Come Buckets says, weekly reminder, this show is unwatchable. So that's not even for free. That's somebody that spent $2, which
well, good for them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
None of that means anything. None of those online criticisms mean anything. I do remember. I mean, it's funny because I would still respond to them, but I do remember early on when I would start getting private messages from people complimenting me or telling me they hated me. Sure. And it was always the majority were people saying, "Hey, I like you." And then there would be these random, like, you suck, you're a loser, whatever. And I would always respond to those guys and go, Dad, I know it's you. Please come home. Mom misses you. And then they would go, okay, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, it's a bizarre. I still can't wrap my head around. I'm getting all the information as it's coming out. I'm hearing that CBS dropped it. I'm hearing input from guys who do late night television who are putting out their thoughts and saying, well, here's the economics. And I don't know. It sounds kind of strange to me, dude. For Don and I growing up, the goal. It's crazy how the business model has changed, but the goal was, oh man, you got to get a late night spot because that's where Johnny Carson would literally hand you a career. You could do a spot.
Exactly.
I've heard from older comics who would do one killer appearance on Carson, and they went from just getting their $15 at the Comedy Store for every spot to headlining around the country and just being able to buy a home but I remember however long ago it was that Artie was still on Howard. I remember Artie telling me that he did an appearance on the Letterman show to promote a book, and that he called his publisher a week later after the Letterman appearance and said, how many books did we sell in the last week? And it was 5. It was less than 10 from being on the Letterman appearance. I've heard somebody, who the fuck was it? Somebody said,
by the way, that's crazy, Craig, because I bought 2 copies. So,
that week that he was on Letterman?
Yeah, it was that week.
He would only sold 3 if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at this. People are learning. I'll give you one of those.
Tapes.
I've heard people say, and this also used to be true, that you would be better off going into the #1 morning radio show in a town than you would to do a national appearance on Letterman and promote shows for that town. You would sell more tickets going on the local, and even that started to change. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting for what you're talking about. People in the audience should, everybody should go on YouTube and look at Drew Carey's first Carson appearance. First of all, he crushes, but second of all, the look on his face when Carson waves him over, because they always tell you it's like, this is your first time, kid. Don't worry about it, because he just thought he was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it, and he's been doing The Price is Right for I think 40 years now. I don't even know how long it's been. So
dude,
yeah,
Louis Anderson. It was almost his first joke. It was like he walked out and Louis said, hey, I got to make this quick. I'm in between snacks. And it was like, oh, like he just fucking. And then there was another one where he opened up with, and this was his first appearance, but his opening line on another one was, let me move this microphone stand so you can see me better. Just like, and it's literally one line. And I remember Louis saying that he was so famous that he got used to it within a few months. Everywhere he went, he had this funny story about going to, this is such a great story. He was double parked in front of a laundromat or like a dry cleaner, and he sent somebody in to pick up his. So he's double parked outside the dry cleaner, and a guy slowed down next to him and started honking and was like waving at him. And Louis goes, "Hey, yeah, it's me. Hi, how you doing? Hey," and the guy goes, "Hold on," and he rolls down his window. And the guy goes, "Move your fucking car! Get the fuck out of here!" And he's like, "Oh, sorry." Like he thought, "Oh, this is just another fan," but he was just so used to being recognized from his 1 or 2 appearances on Johnny Carson.
But Craig, that's such a great point, man. It's because, first of all, just the opening line of what Colbert just said tells you everything you need to know about why they are canceling him. Because first of all, this is just a rumor. I can't confirm it, but initially, Tom Homan claimed that Stephen Colbert was an MS-13 member and he's being deported. So
I've seen it. I've seen his knuckles. So you know what? You're probably right.
They put makeup on there. They put makeup on there. You don't see the tattoo. But here's the other problem. Did you hear what he said? He said, well, after the brilliant Oscar-winning acting performance of pretending like he didn't know there was somebody counting him down.
Sure.
So he would turn to the camera and pretend he didn't know there was 300 people in the studio audience. He says, my guest tonight is Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff doesn't want to see Adam Schiff on the Stephen Colbert show. No human on earth wants to see Adam Schiff. They want to see Louis Anderson. Johnny Carson would come on, do a killer monologue, no politics one way or the other. You know, he didn't take a side. He just destroyed whoever was the funniest that week. All right. Then he'd have fucking Rodney come out and do stand-up. Then he'd have the guy with the fucking snakes and raccoons and shit come out. Yeah. And then Diane Cannon would come out and he'd try to bang her the whole show. And then you went to bed. That's a TV show. Not syringes dancing around telling you to get vaccinated. Not Adam Schiff sitting there with pre-written lines that he can't deliver. That's the reason he's going off the air. These shows have lost all concept of entertainment. And on top of that, the other point that Craig made, which is that they don't have the effect anymore. You go on there and everything's splintered. No, people go, did you see season 47 of this show? And I'm like, I never even heard of that show. So nobody's watching the same thing anymore. This is a good example. On that metal show when we were doing it, Jim Florentine held up a CD by a band called Red Fang and just plugged in and said, this is a good one. Right? The next week, somehow one of Letterman's producers was a fan of that band, and he convinced Dave to let them play, and he did. And so Red Fang played Letterman. Well, the record company guy, who was my friend, told me, he goes, yeah, you know how much our sales increased after Letterman? 1%. Whoa. He goes, you know how much it increased after Jim just held up their CD and said it was good? 60-something%. Wow. Because it's a more specific audience, right? Yeah. Just to mention on our show, everybody in our audience is going to go see it. If you go on Letterman, it's like, what's the percentage of the people that are going to like you, number one? And then number two, what's the percentage of people that are going to say that, oh, let's go out and buy this product, or let's go out and see this comedian or whatever. It's so low now. It's so splintered. So, you know, the one thing, look, Craig and I have in common with all these late night shows, none of us would have us on. Yeah. So they should all fail for that.
Right. Yeah. They obviously don't.
Now look how they're doing.
By the way, the idea of speaking to specialized audiences, it seems like a great time to mention that both of you have appeared recently on my favorite podcast, 100 Songs That Define Heavy Metal. Hosted by the great Brian Slagle, the CEO of Metal Blade Records. And I'm sure that Metal Blade Records, who put out the album version of No Sleep Till McSorley's, sees a bump every time that you're back on the show, Don. So we appreciate you being on over there.
Yeah, Brian came and did a show that I do with Chris Kale from Five Finger Death Punch. And then he showed up with a surprise guest that threw the whole fucking thing off. Because he was at a AC/DC concert the night before and said he was hanging out with a friend who said, what are you doing tomorrow? And he goes, I'm going to hang out with Craig Gass. Craig Gass has a podcast. So I'm going to go do his podcast. And the guy said, oh, man, can I hang out with Craig Gass? And he goes, yeah, I think he'd like to see you. And so the door opens. We're waiting for Brian Slagle. And fucking Kerry King is standing in our doorway. And I go, what are you doing here, man? And he goes, I wanted to surprise you. And I go, all right. Well, and then Brian showed up. He's like, oh man, I wanted to come first and let you in on the surprise. And I was like, all right, you know. And so it becomes, obviously you got to go, all right, so we got a special guest. But I looked at Brian and I said, man, I hope you don't take offense to this, Brian, but if you look at a metal crowd and I see you in the middle of a metal crowd, you are the last guy I would think that guy's running everything. Because he just comes straight out of the audience. It's like Artie Lang for the Howard Stern show. Artie Lang is the audience. He was so perfect for that. And in the same way, Brian Slagle is the perfect guy. He loves the music so much. He is the target audience. So I love that guy for that. But it is funny to me that the most unsuspecting guy you would see in the crowd. You know,
and he's so much older than I thought he was, because I didn't do the math of when Metal Blade started, and he looks great. I guess it's what they say, Don, that heavy metal keeps you young. I've heard that. I don't know where I've heard it, but I've heard it from somewhere.
Well, it's like on my new special, No Sleep Till McSorley's. I talk about. Do I talk about Metal Blade or not? I don't know, but
If
I know
you need to, if you don't know where to find No Sleep Till McSorley's, you just go to @CraigGass Comedy, Gas with 2 S's,
Yes,
and
2
all the
S's.
information is there.
Yeah, No Sleep Till McSorley's. It's out now. It's free on YouTube, so check me out on there.
I got to go through some super chats here because they're talking about my usual co-host who's not here this week. And instead we have both Craig Gass and Don Jamieson. We needed 4 pairs of shoes to fill his JFK head chunk with who, of course, is one of our favorites. Hey, how about some Eric Zane facts? Easy fact. Born in Detroit and raised in Warren, Michigan. Easy fact. He's a Central Michigan University alumnus. Well, that's great. And also donated a kidney to a high school friend. That's only semi-accurate. So my buddy Eric Zane, we covered this on our 100th episode. He reconnected with a friend from high school that he hadn't talked to in 30 years. And he finds out the guy needs a kidney. So he gives the guy a kidney. He hadn't talked to him in 30 years. And Don, Craig, you give any kidneys away, or are you just hanging on to them like a greedy
I'm doing
person?
a promotion for my new comedy special, No Sleep Till McSorley's, where I haven't figured out. We're just going to do this randomly, but I can actually see the counts. I can see the meters. So when you go and you watch my comedy special, No Sleep Till McSorley's, I am going to give one lucky fan I don't know if it's going to be cash or something. Whatever it is,
Give him a kidney.
All right, fuck it. I'll give you a kidney.
Give him Eric Zane's other kidney. He's still got one.
I'll give you Eric Zane's other kidney. I could give you an STD. That's actually pretty easy. But
that might not be a first, Craig.
Yeah. So No Sleep Till McSorley's. One lucky fan is going to get something special. I don't know if I can match kidney. I'll try. Okay. But No Sleep Till McSorley's.
See, this is why you never reconnect with anybody on Facebook.
I agree with you, Tom.
Because it's like, hey, it's been 20 years. How you been? What you been up to? Oh, great to hear from you. Thanks for reaching out. Hey, by the way, I need a kidney.
Dude, I'll always remember one time Tracy Morgan was doing an interview and somebody said, hey, do you ever hear from old friends who are trying to like get stuff from you? And he goes, he said, yeah. He goes, I'll get phone calls from people where they go, hey, call me ASAP. It's an emergency. And he goes, ain't no emergency I need to be a part of. That is so accurate. Do you ever get that, Don? Do you ever get like a random, like years ago, just an old friend just randomly like, dude, call me ASAP. It's important. It's urgent. And you're like, what the fuck does that involve me for?
Right. And then they're like, can you get us into Megadeth? Yeah. Playing, right around the corner from us.
Let's finish up with these. JFK Head Chunk, Eric Zane, fun fact, voice of the Grand Rapids Griffins for 17 years. Thanks for spending all that money, JFK Head Chunk. And Chad's missing upper lip.
Name, JFK Head Chunk. What a great name.
We're a big fan of his. Chad's missing upper lip. Another abortion from Bladt. See, they love me, guys. And I think that's what we're trying to say. And look, he's trying to stir stuff up. And shame on you for this.
About to break this news. Ozzy Osbourne apparently has passed away as we've been speaking.
Is that, see, and I figured of all the people to break the news, I'm like, well, Chad's missing upper lip has to be full of shit. But no, and I do see that
My
everywhere.
phone is blowing up, as the kids say, and with friends and
holy shit.
What?
Yeah.
What I'm just going off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But what an unbelievable way to go out.
Holy shit.
Like, I have no sadness whatsoever for Ozzy because he got exactly what he wanted that last time. And he held on long enough to do it. He kicked ass. And that was it. He's no reason to hold on anymore. My God. What a way to go out.
I mean, that
dude, my phone was fucking exploding while we've been talking, and I'm like, all right, I'll get to it. Holy shit.
And
I cannot believe he got to have that fucking moment. Like, I've been having so many conversations with people with Kale, and And you start to realize just how beautiful this whole thing was. And like Rudy Sarzo explaining that it was the first time. Oh no, it was Dave Ellefson. We had a bunch of people on the show. Dave Ellefson explaining how you go to a festival and it's like, yeah, fuck these guys. We're going to blow everybody off the stage. It's always everyone's mentality going into a festival. And it was the first time where all these artists were like, man, we're giving it all to this guy. We're giving it all to Sabbath. We're like, dude, when you think of Ozzy passing away, who's the first person you think you want to send your condolences to? For me, it's Jim Norton. The guy fucking lives and breathes Ozzy. Like, I know I'm going to be one of a million people to send condolences to Norton, but this is shocking. I can't believe that Ozzy got to, as Don said, got to have that moment.
Yeah, and that it was timed when it was. Now, I know Norton and Florentine did some shows in the UK, basically just so that they could go to the show. And I know that all of us watched it stream. Have you talked to Florentine about actually being there?
Yeah. So I was at Florentine this weekend, and they got FaceTime with Ozzy. So again, like I'm happy. I feel like the same as Craig. Like one of the first people I think of is Norton, but now I'm so happy for Norton that he got that last little hang with Ozzy. And Ozzy had seen on Instagram that the Jims made it to the Black Sabbath house. The house on the front cover of the first album. And he's like, you guys are crazy going all the way out there. And so they had this great interaction with Ozzy backstage. And so, yeah, I think, happy now for Norton and Jim and Florentine, man, because they and I worship Ozzy too. But it's with me, Lemmy was my hero and still is in so many ways because, the music lives on. And I remember when they had his 70th birthday party at the Whiskey, Jim and Eddie and I flew out there.
I was there.
Yeah, for the party. Everybody was there. Slash, Glenn Danzig, Sebastian, Billy Idol, Lars. Everybody was there.
Only birthday party I will ever go to for a 70-year-old where I saw crystal meth.
But when I saw Lemmy, I knew this was the last time I was going to see him. And so he saw me and he waved me over and he's like, he started saying something, and I go, hey, the band's playing, I'll come back, but I just want to let you know, you're my hero. Happy 70th birthday. And when the band's done, I'll come back and we'll talk. He's like, okay. And I knew that was the last time I was ever going to see him. So I had a similar, and then 2 weeks later, he died. So there's a similar situation where I'm like, wow, if I hadn't gone out there, if I hadn't attended the birthday party, I wouldn't have had that last moment with Lemmy. So good for those guys and good for everybody who got over there, man. Part of me has a huge regret for not going because it looks so cool. But now, especially with what's happened today with Ozzy, even more amazing.
Well, our friend who broke the news to all of us, and we'll all have to be able to remember that. Where were you when you heard that Ozzy had died? Oh, I got the news from Chad's missing upper lip. So, which is
well, I didn't realize. Again, my phone has been blowing up since we started this conversation, and I did not realize that
Craig, you were just shocked. You're like, I didn't know this show was so big. Wow, everybody's seeing me on.
It's crazy. Wow, man. I mean, it's, Rudy shared some, Rudy Sarzo's first big break was with Ozzy, and he was talking. He actually said something to us that we were going to put out today. That he said, I've never said this to anybody before, and he said, I've held a resentment against Jake Lee my whole life because I felt like Jake didn't. In his own mind, he said, I didn't see the kind of acknowledgement that Brad Gillis and then Zach Wilde gave. He said, I felt like Jake didn't give that. But he also said when he got to the venue and he saw everybody and then he met Jake for the first time in Birmingham, he said that it dawned on him that they had to do what they had to do. They had to move on. They had to, and Jake, I think had spoken about how he wanted to just do his own thing and put his own thumbprint on it. that he knew he couldn't compete with Randy, and Rudy read that as like, you're not going to acknowledge my friend, because, you know, for Rudy that was his buddy who got him in the band, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And Craig make a good point Craig makes a good point about the atmosphere there, which isn't the typical concert atmosphere where every band's trying to blow the next band off stage. You know, nobody got paid to be there. They got their expenses covered, and look who showed up. I mean, the greatest lineup of any heavy metal festival ever in history, and they all did it out of their love for Ozzy and Sabbath. You know, nobody was worried about who's going to blow this one off stage. Now, that said, you know, if Craig and I did a show and I had to go after Craig and then he passed away, I'd still be pretty angry that I didn't follow him so good.
Well,
Craig Gas Comedy, gas with 2 S's.
I got a message from Chad's Missing Upper Lip and JFK Head Chunk, who's been a member for 7 months. He's referencing, this is a very famous bit from the old Opie and Anthony show. Norton gave Ozzy books for his birthday, and he left him in the O&A studio for little Jimmy. So it seems like the perfect time where we should probably share that because let's you know, we're celebrating what a great moment this was for Norton to get to go to the show. And this is one that just kind of lives on, not even in infamy. I think Jim seems to be very fond of this happening. And let's see. I'm not. Oh, I see. I'm playing the wrong one. You know, look, when we do it live, that's when I get into the real problems. All right, let's see.
Of course, it's your birthday.
Are you guys hearing it?
You probably thought, I have to acknowledge. I wasn't going to do anything, but I figured I've never given you a birthday gift before. So I don't know if you're going to like these or not. I might have gotten.
Look. Sound like a book.
Oh, you knew immediately what it was.
This
is great.
Ozzy's opening the gifts from Norton.
Right. The Beatles is beautiful. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope you like Beatles books.
He's not done.
No, I'm not done. Package number 2.
There goes one away. That's the.
Do you have this one already?
No.
Okay, so I have a gift receipt.
What book is that? It's not thick.
That is the most that's the most Norton thing. Is that
the book of prostitutes that Norton has banged over the years?
Well, that's the A volume, and then there's 25 more that go with that. Yeah, him saying I got a gift receipt is like the time Gene Simmons asked if he could have a banana, and Norton said, "I'll share it with you," instead of giving the God of Thunder a banana. He's like, "Oh, I'll share it with you," and Gene was like, "No, I'll be okay." So let's go back to this though, because we're only 40 seconds in. So Ozzy's going to keep opening. There's a stack of Beatles books here.
Well, I wanted, you're getting Ozzy a gift. I said, what do you got?
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Fantastic.
2 John Lennon books. Okay, and this is. I feel tell Tony Dennis I'm sorry because he probably has to carry this shit.
Thank God for these jump cuts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have these.
That was the moment Ozzy realized John Lennon had been assassinated.
Look, 1980 was a wild time for the Oz band.
Norton gives him 110 pounds of book and expects him not to leave them in the studio.
I did a little card for Ozzy. I almost forgot.
Oh, good.
I got the little Barnes and Noble card with your. Oh, it's not bad.
No, it's bad.
It's not
Listen to Cumbia. He knows.
Great. Second only. Oh, you're so.
Second. You're so almost.
What does the note say?
I said, Ozzy, the Beatles are great. Second only to you. Happy birthday, Jim Norton. I just
Aww.
put Jim, and he called me homo sweet.
Yes.
Right. Well, what can we say?
Listening for 2 minutes before we heard Opie. I didn't even think Opie was there. You guys don't have to comment on that.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow night at the Garden.
All right.
Nice seeing you guys. God bless you.
Okay.
Ozzy, we love you, brother.
Thanks, Ozzy. Thanks for
All right,
coming in.
I guess we're done too, right? We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Of course we are.
Okay, so of course he needs another picture.
Leave. Or I could talk about how shaving is such a drag, Opie.
Yeah, is it?
It really is. It could be a drag,
All
literally.
right. So for our audio audience, Norton's got something he needs signed. It's probably his picture with all the members of Sabbath. Some similar event. He's very proud of what he's had Ozzy sign over the years.
Panasonic multiplex shave.
I'm so glad that they included this ad read.
Jimmy is unashamed of getting his photo taken with anyone famous, and I love that about him.
There's a story about how Cumia got him to go up to some random kid at the airport because he told him he was a member of the Jonas Brothers. It was just some kid.
Oh, I actually was part of an amazing moment that was on his website for a while at eatabullet.com, where I brought a couple comedians backstage to a Kiss concert. Jim loves Kiss. And it was Steve Byrne, Jeff Ross, Jim Norton. And I'm introducing everybody to guys who work for Kiss. And somebody walks up to me and says, "Hey, Craig," and this is early on in the concept of pay to meet somebody.
Sure, of course.
And this guy said, "Hey, there's a VIP meet and greet. It's $1,000 a person where you go into a room and you get your picture taken with Kiss with their makeup on. Would you be interested in doing that?" And I said, "Yeah, you guys want to do that?" And they were like, and Jim, of course, like, "Yes, I would. Yes, I would." And it's like, all right, cool. So we go into that room, and Jim, they told us, "Hey, hang out in the back of the line so that when you guys get up, you'll have a minute to actually talk to everybody." And Norton turned around and said, "You guys mind if I take my own picture with them?" And we were like, "Do you guys give a shit?" "No, Jim, go ahead." So Jim goes up first, and the group that was in front of us walks away, and Jim goes, "Hello, guys." And then he walks up.
He got the blinks down.
It's a lot of blinks there, Craig.
And he stands in front of Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley has no shirt on. His chest hair is filling up the room. He's a man. He's got chest hair and naked top half of his body, and he goes like real masculine. Goes like this to Jim Norton. Puts his arm
around his neck. Yeah.
And without even thinking about how this is going to look, Jim smiles, holds his arms, and goes, leads in, and that's the picture. And he looks like Paul's girlfriend. It's the greatest. Like, in his mind, it was like, I understand what he was doing. It was like, oh man, you guys, like, but the visual image is so much deeper than that.
It was like they were at a Coldplay concert.
Which we will talk about. We will have to talk about that at some point.
This should all be about Ozzy.
I know.
About is Ozzy and stories about Ozzy.
Let's get to the kicker of the Opie and Anthony clip. So,
okay.
Jim takes all that time. He's getting the photos. He's saying goodbye, and Anthony seems to have noticed. And whoever they've got running the camera, I'll back it up just a little bit because they zoomed in because they realized Ozzy left.
Had to grab pull Ozzy away from Jimmy Norton. By the way, his people had to come in,
zooming right in on the books.
Bodily drag Ozzy away from Jimmy.
More importantly,
Jimmy.
More importantly, wait, more importantly.
Oh no! Oh,
so they're showing the books, all 4 books.
Perfect. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The pile of books.
That's what he thinks of your stupid books.
The pile of books are laying on the counter. Everyone's gone. Oh no! That is the saddest thing I've ever seen. All 4 books. Oh no! I feel so.
Wait.
So
he might be out in the hall.
Jimmy's laugh is kind of uncomfortable.
No.
Yeah, just a little bit. I agree with you, Craig. I'll turn this down a little bit so we can talk about it. But
wow.
I swear to God, I said some rank shit on this.
But that's just like Norton knows, like, when you go on the road and fans want to give you stuff and they give you anything, like, where am I? I'm in Kansas City. I got to bring this all the way across the country to New Jersey. Like, what are you giving me a giant Beatles book for?
Yeah.
Like if I gave that to Florentine on the road, he would have hid that in my luggage when I wasn't in my room for a few seconds as we were checking out of the hotel. Then when we got to the airport, I would be like, what the hell? And at TSA, what are all these books in here?
Yeah.
Like, why is my bag so heavy? Like he would have busted my balls with them. And And that's great because Ozzy just walked away and didn't even acknowledge them. He just left.
That is hilarious.
And just imagine if Norton had tried to chase after Ozzy with the books. But yeah, I mean, that's it is a legendary moment. So thank you to both JFK Head Chunk and Chad's Missing Upper Lip, who, despite hating the show, helped direct us towards some great content. So what kind of, obviously, people, the thing about Norton at that show, by the way, the last Ozzy Last Sabbath show, is that he's right there in the inner circle when Kelly gets proposed to by the guy from Five Finger Death Punch. From Slipknot. Yeah, Slipknot. And Norton has that I wouldn't be able to find quickly, so I don't want to get too distracted. But there is that moment he's like, "Oh shit, I'm in the shot." So he tries to, Norton's like, "Okay, I don't think I'm not. They're not that tight with me." But I think Ozzy and Sharon both always loved him. And
Don, you've had interactions with Ozzy over the years, right?
A couple, yeah, but never when we were doing that metal show. I mean, he just, for Sharon and Eddie always had that falling out every once in a while type of thing. And she never let Ozzy do the show. But apparently, Florentine saw him like in the midst of us doing it. And he's like, "Oh, I love the show." And he started talking about it and mentioning I saw so-and-so on it and this one and that one. But it's like Ozzy, what's funny about Ozzy is like, I don't think it even occurred to him, like, why am I not on it? You know what I mean? Like when I watch a sitcom, like, I don't think like, how come I'm not on there? Because, the comedy business gave me the like 20 years ago. So I'm not thinking.
There's so many names I want to mention right now and go, "Oh, you mean like so-and-so would think?" Like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think Ozzy thinks the same way. Like, it didn't even occur to him. He was just like, "Oh, I like the show." It's just the same thing. It's like, "Oh, I like that show. I don't think I should be on every show." Right. Like even SNL, I knew early on I was never cut out for that show because I don't do impressions and I don't do characters and stuff like that, which is really, the stock and trade of the show. But I had a couple interactions. I think I brought Jim one time when I was still working behind the scenes at MTV. Ozzy came in and I brought Florentine in to see if I could get him to meet him. And Ozzy came in and he went into the bathroom and Florentine ran after Ozzy into the bathroom and peed right next to him.
No shit. Wow. my mind is racing with this news that's breaking. And I'm just thinking of one of the greatest Ozzy stories I've ever heard in my life was him confessing to his first attempt at getting into recovery for drug and alcohol addiction, that Sharon sold Ozzy on this idea that I'm going to take you to Betty Ford. What's Betty Ford? Oh, it's a place where you learn how to drink like a gentleman.
Yeah.
And Ozzy goes, yeah, I thought that was a really good idea, because I've been fucking shitting my pants, And it's like, so Ozzy buys into this idea, like, all right, cool, we're going to go this way. You're going to learn how to drink like a gentleman. So he's sold on this false premise. And they actually meet with Betty Ford. Betty Ford actually does the intake questioning. And they discuss where his drinking is at. They go through the whole thing. And she goes, all right, well, I guess that's it. Do you have any questions? And Ozzy goes, yeah, where's the fucking bar? And she goes, well, you're definitely in the right place. Like, where's the bar? Because he got tricked into going into this place. Some of the stories about him, I was fucking scared of Ozzy. I was scared of Ozzy when I would see that imagery. I'm like, oh my God. I'm 12 years old. And the kids that would beat me up are the ones that are into that music. And I was like, fuck, I don't know, man. That's like some evil devil music. So it took me a while to understand. Like, I don't even know if I should say this, but I know that Joe Holmes, only because a friend of mine worked for Joe Holmes. Joe Holmes played guitar for Ozzy for a while. And I remember a buddy of mine at an Oz who works for Joe said, hey, Marilyn Manson is going to come back to take some pictures. You want to meet him? And he said, no, fuck that guy.
Oh.
And he goes, why? And he goes, I don't like him because he pushes devil stuff and negativity. I don't like him. And my buddy goes, you play guitar for Ozzy? And he goes, but listen to Ozzy. all of his lyrics are positive. They're about positivity. There's no negativity in Ozzy's lyrics. And I'm like, holy shit, that is absolutely true.
Well, there's the great story from Zach about they had a rehearsal space or something, and there was a poster of Aleister Crowley on the wall, and they're, you know, they take a break, and Ozzy's looking at all the artwork on the wall, and he's like, Zach, who's that? He goes, boss, you wrote a song about him.
Really?
Who Aleister Crowley was, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, he was such the TV show is what fleshed it out. The TV show let everyone see just what a normal, vulnerable guy he was. And, you know, there's incredible moments. I just think, God, I wonder how much of this is actually real, but him actually talking to his kids, him and Sharon talking to his kids about drugs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't fucking do this, you know? And it's like, what? But you're, you know, the real life shit, and watching him being clumsy, falling over in his chair, and he's the Prince of Darkness, and you realize it's all imagery.
Well, the point is that he's still the Prince of Darkness. Everybody still loved him, even after we all saw him fumble for not knowing how to figure out how to use a remote control, or the dog shitting all over his house. To be able to be on a show like that and not have everybody go like, I think we're all over Ozzy right now. You know what I mean? That's how great he was and how much everybody loved him. You're talking about being scared of him, by the way. This is my earliest memory of what Ozzy looked like, is the cover of Bark at the Moon.
Well, that one I went to. That one I was like, all right. And I saw that March 14th, 1984. It was Ozzy Osbourne at the TCC Arena in Tucson, Arizona, with Motley Crue opening on their Shout at the Devil tour.
Yep.
And that Motley Crue show became a live recording that I can't think of that fucking, but they would play it. It was actually officially recorded and released to a network of rock stations around the country. And I actually have a recording of it, like a professional recording, because it was like part of a concert series.
Right. Like a King Biscuit Flower Hour or one of those deals, right?
Yeah. What were we saying, Don?
It was called No Sleep Till McSorley's, I believe.
No Sleep Till McSorley's was the name of the show.
It's available on Metal Blade Records, and you can also watch the video.
Here's the crazy thing. If you want to see Vince Neil, and this is crazy, singing every word of the song. I know that sounds like that doesn't. No Sleep Till McSorley's, punch it in and just wait. You will see it. No Sleep Till McSorley's. And it's Vince Neil, no bullshit, actually singing every word.
No, he has to hand the mic to the crowd like every other word, right? That has to be what happened.
Not back then. Back then, Vince actually sang much, much more. But
well, listen, one of the most infamous and great Ozzy stories, it's in the book The Dirt, it's in the movie The Dirt, is hanging out with doing lines of ants.
Mm-hmm.
Are there stories that you guys feel like that rival that one, that are worth sharing? There's obviously going to be some stories that can never be told, but whether something you heard second, third hand, even.
Dude, you know what? Fuck, man. I mean, I'm thinking of friends right now who are really close to Ozzy. Oh. Man, Jesus Christ, there's so many people. Like, Don's first reaction is the absolute most appropriate reaction. The first words out of Don's mouth is like, holy shit, can you believe he got to do that? He got to have an actual send-off. Like, my whole feeling in watching it was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of like, when Don or I, when one of us loses somebody, the real thoughts and feelings and the real love that you have for somebody come out at somebody's memorial. And there's always been this thing of like, why don't we tell people this while they're still alive? And that is 100% what that whole night with Ozzy and Black Sabbath was all these incredible musicians with all this incredible body of work saying it's because of you guys that we even tried. I cannot believe he got to go through all of that. And then gets, I don't know. This is mind blowing what we're talking about here.
And obviously it is one of those things that you're able to feel like, okay, great, it didn't happen, before the show or whatever. He did get to go out the right way. And probably appropriately enough, the three of us know the Grammys will make no mention of this in February because they'll have forgotten that they ever knew who Ozzy was. But I think that our buddy Chad's missing upper lip, he actually is being a hero to us because, one, he gave us this news, but also he has found the moment where Norton was backstage when Kelly gets proposed to. I knew that this was out there, but I didn't know how to find it. And thank you to Chad's missing upper lip, even though he hates me and the show. He's an Eric Zane fan, so that matters. So I don't know if we're just going to hear people talking, but okay.
You know I love you more than anything in the world.
What a great line from Ozzy. Fuck off, you're not marrying my daughter. But look, there's Norton there on the right of the screen.
That's what I was laughing at, is that Norton realizes the camera and then he moves out of the way.
And you know how much Norton hates himself for being in the way, right?
Yeah,
We know Norton so well, he's probably like, ugh, I suck.
Fuck up, you're not married my daughter.
Great line from Ozzy, too.
Nothing would make me happier than spend the rest of my life with you.
And, you know, great moment. Norton's, of course, there. He tells a story about sitting on the side of the stage for an Ozzy show. I've heard him tell it a few times on the radio. And he was sitting somewhere he shouldn't. So, like, everybody in the crowd could see him. And then he talks about how Ozzy offered him a ride home. And he's like, no, I brought my car. And as soon as those words were out of his mouth, he's like, God damn it, I could have come back to Jones Beach and gotten my car, you know, or just fuck it, forget the car, go home with Ozzy. So I think that's one of the things that makes Norton so relatable is that, you know, not the volumes upon volumes of prostitutes that Don referenced, is the fact that we can all relate to those moments. The great hack ride in the chat. Ozzy got to see Tool live right before he died. That's a mission accomplished. Life, RIP. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, Hack Ride, but obviously that day is there and there. And Chad's missing upper lip. This is very rude. I love, and I think we all appreciate the stories we're getting from Chad. From Craig, but Chad, we do appreciate you helping us anyway, even though you're being rude to our guest. So we appreciate all of that. And no, Tom Myers isn't here today. My apologies.
How on brand would it be if Sharon Osbourne announced now who the band is that she hated at the event, like right after? Like,
yeah,
oh,
she's like, I'm so sad, but you know, Ozzy really wanted me to say. There's a lot of rumors about who it is, and what, you know, the one that seemed the least likely was Kiss, because they don't do big shows like that anymore. I heard that name, and everybody was like, no, they're not.
No, they weren't. It was someone who was supposed to be, that was billed.
Yeah.
And then and they had to step down. And then she said they were interested in making money. And the only artist that I know of that was billed and announced themselves they couldn't do it was Mammoth. And I can't see why Mammoth would have been an issue with Wolfgang.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Wolfgang probably doesn't have any money, right? I mean, he's a young upstart, you know, a new band. I don't know that there's any money.
Don't make any money in those first two albums.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Don, you have any thoughts?
Well, Sharon just put out a statement, actually, because I'm getting texted by everybody, other comedians, obviously all my friends in the rock and metal world, my dentist, United Airlines. It's time to check in. But did you hear that Ozzy died? And it's wild.
I want people to keep watching us, but I mean, you know, you guys, buddy.
I got breaking news here. They don't want to turn away. Sharon put out a statement saying, we're so glad Ozzy had his final day in the sun with all his friends and family and fans, but Ozzy was still distraught that he didn't get to appear at Chrissy Mayer's Content Hotel
in Callicoon, New York. Yeah,
so
she's very upset that
as much as it's a nice thing that he had a farewell, he didn't get to do the Content Hotel.
There is, this is wildly inappropriate, and I'm really sorry to do this, but there is a live stream going on right now about with breaking news about Ozzy, and I'm not trying to lose the audience that's here, but if you type in "No Sleep Till McSorley's" apparently on YouTube, if you go to that right now, there are as that show goes on, whatever "No Sleep Till McSorley's" is, you will see updated information about it. Apparently, all the tributes coming in are going into No Sleep Till McSorley's.
Yes,
That's
there's
No
a
Sleep
slow
Till
crawl like
McSorley.
there was the night I recorded it.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure that that's what Ozzy would have wanted everyone who, came out for the last show, everybody who watched it online. He would want them to make sure that they check out No Sleep Till McSorley's at Don Jamieson. Craig, there has to be something that they can find of yours. It is true that you've got a whole special of Kiss stuff coming
His
out.
podcast is amazing.
Yeah, I'm doing a show with my buddy Chris Kale called Beardo and Weirdo, and things have been going great. It's funny because we have Ozzy related people coming to join us this weekend, and now obviously it's going to be this. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just really blown away by again, it's the first thing that Don said. Who gets to do that? Who has ever perfectly timed a goodbye like that? Who has seen the writing on the wall? I mean, dude, at the same time that Ozzy does his thing, I didn't realize, and I think it was in Birmingham or was it in London the same day? ELO was supposed to do their final show ever, and then they canceled within 24 hours. They tried to essentially do the same thing. Last show, official goodbye, one performance, and then we're done. And they had to cancel it a few days out. And I thought, wow, it's kind of weird that this band that I don't know if they got wild at all in their lives, but Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, was able to 8 months in advance go, I'm gonna be there every fucking show up. And then he showed up and they did it, and there was all this love from around the world, and then he fucking ends. I'm blown away by this.
Check out Jeff Lynne's eyes in those Traveling Wilburys videos, and then you might actually understand that he probably lived a rough life.
They should have let Jeff Lynne play at that concert because obviously they sold all the tickets available in England, and and the other thing is, man, he died knowing they made $190 million for charity.
Mm-hmm.
And when a charity could collect $10 million, that is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It was actually the largest funds raised for any charity concert ever, according to a friend of mine who performed at the event. He posted a link from somewhere that made that had that headline. It was the largest amount of money raised for a charity event.
Well,
or maybe it was an online charity event. I don't know, but it broke some kind of record.
We have a relevant super chat that I like to hope would make Ozzy chuckle. JFK Head Chunk says Sharon just announced Ozzy will continue to tour.
That was the moment we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Thank you, JFK Head Chunk. We very much appreciate that.
Bringing it full
Wow.
Well, guys, what a crazy gut punch for us to get. And I have so much stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about. We'll have to find a time to do it again. I have clips of both Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons separately being interviewed by Billy Corgan. And when I was in high school and college, I was a fan of Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins. But the thing that I found about that interview show is, man, he's a way bigger Kiss fan than I think any of us would have ever guessed.
A lot of people are that you wouldn't suspect.
Yeah. But of course, and I'm sure that that would also transfer to the great Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. So, guys, we'll call it a little early, but I'm glad that I was able to spend it with the two of you. And, Don, Craig, your buddy Eddie Trunk, he finds a lot of occasions where Metal News breaks right after he goes off the air. But he started his show about 15 minutes ago on Sirius XM. Yep. So that's probably a great place for.
He claims the Ozzy, the announcement that Ozzy died was done on a track. So,
right. Wasn't it?
I hope this is okay to say. I genuinely mean this. I really hope this is okay to say. But Don told me once that him and Jim will sometimes text within 5 to 10 minutes of Eddie's show starting. Do you know what I'm about to say, Don?
No.
that you'll text him a story that you know will piss him off, and you go,
Oh yeah.
Hey, did you see this? And then you put on the radio and you watch him go, oh man, I just got this news story. What the fuck? Like, and then you just sit in your room and just listen to him fucking yell for like 30 minutes. Like,
especially if it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
No, exactly. It was something with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They text to him 2 minutes before he goes on. And it's like,
Yeah.
Look, for all the things that they got wrong, it seems like, it's been reported Tom Morello's a lot more involved now than a lot of other people have been. So the fact that Ozzy goes in with Sabbath and he goes in as a solo musician, I'm still waiting for Alice Cooper to go in as a solo musician. So learn your lesson, everyone, and pay attention to how these great artists don't just put out some amazing albums in the 70s. We've, Don, I don't think we've let people know about your new special. Where can they find it? And I don't even remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's somewhere out there. I'd go to the best suggestion I could give is at Craig Gass Comedy, Gas with 2 S's. And all the information is there. It's free on YouTube. Just go to Don Jamieson on YouTube and check that out. And also, please check out my good buddy Craig Gass's amazing podcast with Chris Kale from 55FP, Five Finger Death Punch, which is much better than the original name, 4 Fingers and a Thumb Death Punch. And it's called The Beardo and the Weirdo, and you should check that out. Highly recommend it.
The T-shirts didn't look as good with the old name. Yeah,
the biggest comedy special of this summer that everyone is talking about is called No Sleep Till McSorley's. I'm sorry to keep plugging this thing, but all the information about Ozzy's memorial, where you can send money, everything is at No Sleep Till McSorley's. You can find it online. Some of it's coded. If you play it backwards, there's instructions on how to get a gun and do stuff. But it's No Sleep Till McSorley's. Play it frontward and backward. If you recite the lyrics to Suicide Solution and watch No Sleep Till McSorley's, there's you will summon demons. But it's also like front to back, watching it the normal way. I recommend doing it a few times, take away your own messages, come back to it, watch it again. No Sleep Till McSorley's. It's hopefully, underneath Ozzy, the number 2 most trending thing today on Google. So,
well, interestingly, because obviously people who only know me from this show know of me as a really cool guy. So, like all the cool guys, if you're going to be down at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, the coolest place to be will be the Thursday noontime panel I will be a part of. We're going to be talking about the greatest comedy special ever released, No Sleep Till McSorley's. It's now available for free on Don Jamieson's YouTube channel.
Do you understand? Wait, I got to jump in. You understand how hard it is to write jokes so that when you play them backwards, they are the lyrics to Suicide Solution?
It's a skill, man. It's a skill.
Layers.
Yeah.
I'm bundled in layers as a comedian.
We're still years away from the court proceedings over all of this because kids take this shit seriously and they end up doing stupid shit.
But obviously, Rob and KK will still show up in suits.
Yes.
For Don's hearing.
Exactly.
But my actual panel is, again, maybe not the coolest panel I could talk to in front of these guys, but I will be part of a panel discussing the 40th anniversary of Weird Al Yankovic's Dare to Be Stupid, the first album I ever bought on cassette, of course. And it is a part of the podcast Weird Algorithm with Matt Kelly and Matthew Milligan. So please, if you are down there at San Diego Comic-Con, send me a message. And of course, my personal podcast, the Blattcast, BLADTCAST. Don, there's a new Alice Cooper album coming out. We might have to do an emergency episode.
We are definitely going to have to do one because the first 2 songs I'm already salivating. So let's do this.
I'm still in shock, man. Ozzy absolutely is going to be remembered as owning this summer. The summer of 2025, doing the farewell show, and then all the discussions about Ozzy now for the next few weeks, few months. This was Ozzy's big send off. I'm in shock that this happened.
Well,
the way that it
Don, you are always the first person to say that you never believe anybody when they do their farewell. We just talked about Ozzy's farewell. JFK Head Chunk made a joke about it. Do you think that Ozzy will never tour again? Or if there was the Dio hologram, why not the Ozzy hologram? Or do you think that the hologram moment has passed?
Well, I just wanted to announce Craig Gass and I are doing a Back to the Beginning comedy show next summer. And we encourage people to get tickets now because we don't have long. Let's be honest.
It's not in the same venue.
No, but to save money, you guys are going to be in Birmingham, Alabama, so that you can just drive there. Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be at a bus stop in Birmingham, Alabama. Back to the beginning, dude.
If we sell enough tickets, we can do the parking lot of the Waffle House in Mobile.
I don't know if this is true, but someone just sent me a text that there is somebody just put a string together of couples getting caught on a jumbotron at the same show, and it's No Sleep Till McSorley's.
Oh boy!
That it's just like, oh wow. Okay, so apparently, this is interesting. If you watch No Sleep Till McSorley's and study the crowd footage, is this true? 90% of the couples on that shot are in other relationships.
Is there
90%? I don't know. Look up No Sleep Till McSorley's. According to this text I just got, 90% of the couples in the crowd are actually cheating on their significant others. Holy shit. So that's like, you got to spend some time on that clip. That's like backwards, forwards.
Don, is it true at all that there was a second cameraman on the grassy knoll outside of McSorley's filming it, and that's why we have the footage that we could have?
Well, I on my Kiss cam at No Sleep Till McSorley's, the one spotlight could envelop the entire crowd that was there. So you only just needed one spotlight. It didn't need to move around. You could just see everybody.
That's rough. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So there's some scandal in that shot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and I think that there is actually something very funny that I have to share because obviously, when Ozzy passes, maybe there's a couple of moments for mirth, but not too many. And I am vamping a little bit because I'm trying to get to this tweet that I need to share. We were moments ago just talking about your friend Eddie Trunk, and apparently he's about to get on an airplane, so he's not doing his show today.
Oh shit.
So the idea that he was like, oh my gosh, it happened before his show. It did, but his phone's been blowing up. But so I'm sure the next time he's live, he's going to say, this is sad about Ozzy. But have you guys seen No Sleep Till McSorley's?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, that's a void that is being filled right now with the messages within No Sleep Till McSorley's. So go to that right now on YouTube and check it out. You'll see everything you need to know about Ozzy there. I'm genuinely going to remember this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
Remember where you were when.
I honestly, you said it, and then Don goes, "Yeah, I heard," and I just started laughing. Like,
look,
right, this is
that's not the first time somebody super chatted on this show and said, "Why are you talking about this? So and so died," and of course, the person hadn't died. So my first reaction was like, all right, Chad's missing upper lip. Stop fucking around.
Yeah. So when Don says it and he goes, yeah, I heard too. Yeah. I was like, what a weird joke. And then, I looked at my phone and I was like, oh shit. All these texts that I've been getting are, dude, Ozzy died. Like, holy shit.
And yet Keith Richards just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hack Ride Studios.
Yes.
You know what? I got to say, it's funny to have that trajectory to where I was scared to death of Ozzy when I was 12 years old. And I saw that Florentine clearly didn't have that same thing. We're the same age, but Florentine, he got right in on Blizzard of Oz and he was into it. It took me till Bark at the Moon to kind of start to realize oh man, this guy's just he's a character. He's just a maniac. He's not a threat to anybody.
No.
Or wants anybody to hurt anyone. And then to see what kind of a person he turned out to be when you put the cameras on him, and to see the vulnerability of him on that final show, and he fucking sang. The guy actually sang. I mean, did he sing great? No, but he did sing. And
hey, he sang all the words, and he didn't hand the microphone to the audience, Craig.
Yeah.
He actually had the microphone in front of him.
Were you gonna say, Don?
No, I was just listen. That's what a way to go out. Because like I was glad for the reality show because it turned one of my heroes into like this, even much bigger than he ever was before, which I liked. But for me, it was like I think I want to remember Ozzy as Iron Man, not a man ironing. Good night, everybody. I had a great time.
Fucking Don.
Thank
God
you.
damn it.
And
Jokes like that can be found
night.
on One Night in McSorley's. Thank you both. And we do have to do this again, not just because I worked so hard pulling clips, but because I think we'll have fun, because talking about
tomorrow,
Kiss.
guys.
But this is not the day to talk. Do you think Gene Simmons would say today is not the day to talk about Kiss? Or
No, he would never say that. No.
If you missed any part of this conversation, guess what? It's all available for $29.95 at kissonline.com. Click on my codpiece.
And what would Gene say his favorite comedy special of 2025 is?
Stop.
You can get it for free. It's called No Sleep Till McSorley's. You thought people stole from Kiss? Wait till you see what this asshole does. Look up No Sleep Till McSorley's.
Well, thank you all. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Sorry for people who were expecting to see local news videos of Bears. Our buddy Eric Zane will be back next week. It is the end of our show now. Thank you so much, Craig Gass, Don Jamieson.
Thank you.
And Craig's missing upper lip for not only breaking the news, but providing us with content by sending us a few videos. I know he still hates me, but we appreciate it. So, as always, this is Christian Bladt letting you know that every mic is a hot mic. And Ozzy got to see Tool live right before he died. That's a mission accomplished in life. R.I.P. And yet Keith Richards just keeps going and going. And I'm sorry, we got a last-minute Hamilton burger. Ozzy's last words were McSorley's, I've heard. So he spent $2 Canadian to say that. So thank you, Hamilton Burger. We'll see you next Tuesday, everyone.
Thanks for having me on.